So today I'm going to talk you through the lacy camo negative space nails. Really pretty look. First off, I did a couple of coats of OMG a UFO by China Glaze. Pretty hollow, not real strong, but enough that it just gives a bit of depth to your nails with this look. Alrighty, so I've done that. First step is to do some double stamping to get our camo going. I'm going to be stamping with two colours to get the camo look. First one is Jolly Holly, another China Glaze one. And the second is Susie Takes the Wheel by OPI. Now, neither of these are your typical stamping polish. They're both a little bit sheer, but that's okay. What we want to do is layer the look so that you can see one thing behind the other, so that it just looks kind of melded in camo as opposed to really strong defined colours. Now I'm using our upcoming plate. This one's Classic 01 and I'm using this cow print here. So first off is a fairly straightforward stamp with these ones. First off I'm just going to use Jolly Holly just to get a bit of green onto my nails. And I'm not being overly particular with spacing or anything really. Camo isn't particularly controlled, so we're not worried too much about keeping things uncontrolled, keeping things too controlled with this look. So for example, I'm not worrying too much about cleaning my scraper or my tools. It doesn't matter if we get a little bit of stuff everywhere with this look. In fact, it's probably better if we do. Alright. So just going through one by one, putting that cow print on. Next round we'll use the cow print again, but we'll use the OPI polish. Now the OPI polish isn't particularly strong, but it does kind of just dull up patches. So you'll see what I mean in a minute once I finish this. So our last cow print on. There we go. In between stamping of the different colours for these four nails, I'm going to go through and clean the plate for that. I'm just using pure acetone that I got from the hardware shop. Doesn't need to be expensive. The stuff in the chemists and specialty places are way more expensive than you really need to pay for the cleanup. Alrighty, so now we're on with the Susie Takes the Wheel. And I'm just going through and doing the same all over again. As you'll see, this is a sheer polish for stamping. But it is just enough to sort of blend everything. Can't see much on the stamper, but it is just enough to blend everything in and just to give that sort of variegated camo sort of look to it. So I'm just going to whip through and get these four done. Same thing, I'm not worrying about cleaning my scraper or anything in between. I want a really variegated sort of jungle look to it. There's my next one done. Two more to go and we'll just whip through and do those. What I'm going to do after this is stamp using the accessories kit to get the chevrons. There we go, one more to go. And then we'll just use a fine brush to take away some of the paint to give us that negative space kind of look. Last one. There we go. Okay, so I'm all camoed up. Next, we're going to do our chevron stamping. Move all this out of the way and have a little clean up as I'm going through. Need a clean stamper for this, it's a bit more defined sort of work. And I'm going to be using Bridal Nail 02. This is one of my favourite plates. I keep coming back to this one. A marketing friend of mine said I need to use lots of different plates, and then I keep using this one all the time, so I get myself into trouble with the marketing folks, using the same thing over and over again. Alright, I'm going to be using our template, and I'm going to pick out this big chevron here. You can see that, and I'm going to be using it on this fine lace here. Stamping is going to be with Moyu Black. Okay, I am going to clean this off now, just on a bit of tape, because I do want this to look a bit cleaner than the last lot. Didn't matter if it was all messy the last lot, but this is a bit more important. Okay, so for using these templates, the stencils, I find that the really marshmallow stamp is the best way to go. Anything a bit firm, you end up with some outlines and some weird things happening. The soft ones pick up really well with these. Okay, so just the same again. Scrape. Now I'm going to put my big chevron on there. And stamp to pick up my chevron lace. Now very carefully I'm going to line that up. So I've got the chevron lace on the top. I'm going to do another layer of it. Once again, I want this image to be really clear and crisp, so I'm going to clean between every application. And I'll go again to get that second layer on. Put our stencil back down. There's my chevron. Just going to line it up so it's just below the other one. Okay, so I've got two chevrons on there and I've got a gap in between. All I'm going to do is get rid of that gap. I've got just a eyeliner brush. I've dunked it in acetone and I'm just going to take off space in between. Now that's just allowing me to get in there and get really clean lines either side. So you can see we're starting to get a nice chevron. I'm just going to clean my brush a little bit. And just neaten that up slightly. Make sure I get a nice little point at the top. Helps if I do it in the screen. There we go. Okay, so that's given me a lacy edge with a clear centre. And what I've done is, because I want it to be really obvious that there's a piece of negative space there, I've done it over where my nail meets, like my nail that's stuck on my finger and my nail that's free edge, where that meets. So you can kind of see that underneath it. So I'm going to go and clean that up and we'll take some photos. Thanks for watching.